Hey, it's Dave Altavilla for Hot Hardware here with Dell and Alienware at their pre-CES 2023 preview. I've got Eddie from Alienware here ready to show us some new toys for the new year.
Hey guys, welcome to our space. We're more than excited, and I'm honored to introduce you on behalf of the whole Alienware team a brand new portfolio of Alienware laptops. We're introducing a brand new X14, X16, M16, and M18. All these laptops will be featuring a new 16 by 10 aspect ratio display, which is going to increase field of view, increase total pixel resolution, and in some cases also increase the physical space that you're going to be, real estate that you'll have on the screen. Beyond that, all these systems will also feature an FHD IR Windows Hello capable camera. That is an upgrade from an HD resolution. And they'll all feature 13th gen Intel Core processors as well as the latest graphics from NVIDIA. The X16 along with the M16 and the M18 will also be offering AMD Ryzen options, and the M18 will have AMD Advantage configurations as well. So we're very excited to talk about this whole span of configurations, giving gamers who prioritize mobility and the capacity to game anywhere they go, all the way to a brand new desktop replacement with incredible levels of power, actually achieving 35% more power than this year's X17 R2. Most premium gaming laptop we've ever been able to construct. And we define that by looking at the incredible lighting that we've been able to execute. On the rear of the system, this stadium shape, and it is called a stadium if you're not aware, is composed of 100 micro LEDs, and we're able to execute various animations. Please excuse the dead LEDs here. This is a production unit that is not expected when we ship these production boxes. We're also reintroducing our Alien Effects touchpad. And for the first time, we're enabling different kinds of animations that you can customize in there as well. As always, the keyboards are enabled for per key lighting. So all in all, the lighting that we have on this machine is our best execution on an Alienware laptop to date, and we're very proud of it. Gamers around the world are telling us that they love lighting, they want more of it, and so here we are doubling down on that effort. Beyond that, the X16, just like the X14, offers a full metal chassis. The system is made up out of an anodized aluminum with a nano bead blasted paint job in our new lunar silver colorway, and the rear is also capturing anodized aluminum. You might have heard about our new perimeter foot in the previous room. It's all about enabling performance and airflow. Even inside the machine, you've got a stainless steel panel and magnesium alloy. And the benefit behind all this is giving our audience the build quality that they love. When you hold an Alienware laptop, you feel a structural rigidity that speaks volumes behind the engineering that had to occur to create this wonderful beast of a system. Now, you'll also notice that all these machines are featuring a 16 by 10 aspect ratio on our display. So we're going to be offering FHD Plus and QHD Plus resolutions across the board. In the case of the X14, the #1 requested feature was a higher resolution screen. So we've gone from an FHD panel to a QHD Plus panel. That's 97% more pixels and 6% more physical real estate devoted to the display, and the actual dimensions remain 14.5 millimeters on the Z, giving us the world's thinnest 14-inch gaming laptop, which is really freaking cool. As expected, all these laptops are going to be featuring 13th generation Intel Core processors, the latest graphics from NVIDIA, DDR5 memory, and beyond that, through our partnership with Dolby, we're able to offer Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision across all of these laptops, not any particular one. However, in the case of the X16 is going to be Alienware's first laptop featuring 6 speakers. So we have 2 upwards firing speakers on the left and the right, and then we also have 4 woofers firing from the front. To my left, we actually have a booth where you're more than welcome to sample the voluminous sound quality compared to today's 17-inch. So All in all, when I said earlier that this was our most premium laptop to date, it's because we're accomplishing 17-inch performance in a 16-inch form factor while occupying the footprint similar to a 15-inch laptop. Also executing our best lighting ever, executing 6-speaker sound, and encapsulating all of that in a full metal chassis. So hopefully gamers will appreciate that all around the world. And we know gamers aren't all the same. We all have different priorities, wants, and needs. That's why our portfolio has grown, and we have a vast selection of choices for all of you. Whether you're a a road warrior, we have the X14. If you want lots of performance but don't want to go too big, the M16 offers incredible wattage, incredible performance. And then we also have our M18 reaching a new level of power not seen before. And that is the summarized version of our new laptop portfolio. Our desktops are going to be featuring, are going to be adding to their portfolio the AMD Ryzen 7000 series processors. That'll kick off in January. We're also going to be unveiling Intel's lower-end processors. So if you're a desktop gamer, it's going to be a great time to buy a new Aurora because there's going to be a really wide spread of configuration choices. And before mid-February, we're also going to be adding the new Radeon graphics options as well. So killer time to buy a new desktop from Alienware. Some of the big improvements behind the new Aurora R15 is the new 240mm heat exchanger. We effectively doubled the size of the heat exchanger. We've also, if you look inside the chassis, I'm happy to show you.
Oh, not a big deal, but 18-inch.
Lock that? Yeah. So inside, we're capable of supporting 1, 2, 3, 4, 520mm fans. And we're also going to have this hexagonal array of side vents. So all in all, we're moving 19% more airflow while reducing the acoustic profile of the system. We re-engineered the motherboard by moving the graphics card slot to slot number 1. That enables us to fit in triple wide graphics cards. We've also outfitted the motherboard with a 12-phase voltage regulator circuit, giving the CPU more performance. And all of our power supplies are an 80+ platinum rated power supply, all the way up to a 1350 watt power supply. So if you look at the desktop from 20 feet away, it looks identical to what we launched last year, but under the hood there's tons of new improvements from a thermal perspective, from a power perspective, and an overall performance perspective that we're very, very excited about.
And you'll probably notice there's like a single stick of RAM in there. This is a system that we had to assemble to get here to turn on. This isn't something that we would recommend as like a good configuration. So just letting you know, we're self-aware to those details.
What kind of, does it come with any built-in RGB on front?
Oh, absolutely. We have up to 8 zones.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Alien Head is 1. The Alien Head is 1. There's a Stadium around here. That's 2. There's the Ambient around here. That's 3. Then this Alien Head is 4. This Hexagon is 5. And then 6, 7, and 8 is the ambient lighting, the fan. And then the Alienware word mark. So up to 8 lighting zones. And then, as you can imagine, these laptops will be launching, will become available on different dates, all according to different configurations that we're going to be offering. But to give you a little hint on what that might include, our 16 and 18-inch laptops will offer the full spectrum of NVIDIA's new graphics. Can't tell you what they are, but we will offer the highest end SKU on all of those. That's pretty cool. Thermal interface material. That's a special secret sauce that our engineering team has cooked up for us. This year we've applied it on the CPU, but in this generation we're applying it on the CPU and the GPU for most of our high-end configurations. So we've doubled down on materials, we've doubled down in our cooling, and we've doubled down on our display experience altogether.
Physics-wise, it's pretty straightforward, right? More surface area we have, better CFM through the box, we have better performance. There's a couple key changes for this generation on the X16. The first is the vapor chamber. So if you look over here, you can actually see how the vapor chamber is built into the heatsink. That vapor chamber shows off both the CPU and the GPU. The reason that's important, boost and turbo. So as boost goes up, turbo goes up from GPU and CPU performance, it's an opportunity for OEMs to really tune at runtime. So if you're doing a first-person shooter, guess what we want to prioritize? Frames per second, right? So we're going to bias it towards the GPU. If you're doing rendering, right, Cinebench, if you're doing photo editing, right, we're going to really try to boost that CPU turbo performance. So what this allows us to do is give the whole cooler for all of that power wherever we want it to go. And I think this is a great feel. You heard 240 watts, but if you look at the GPU size, right, versus the CPU, you have to realize all that power is coming from there. We have to take it from there, distribute over the entire heatsink, get out of the box to give you a cool and quiet or acceptable experience for whatever you're trying to do. So on top of that, with the X series, the key challenge you heard, hey, a little bit thicker, more powerful, a little bit thinner, more elegant. The problem with thinner, it's actually harder to cool. And so it's all about velocity of airflows. So the foot height, you'll be surprised. And the 14-inch, I'll give you an example. That 14-inch product had a 0.19 millimeter change in foot height that went up. It increased performance by 5 watts or 5%. So 0.19 millimeters, I mean, think how small that is. It's a 5-watt impact to overall concurrency and performance on the box. This system, similarly, we went back and looked at the foot height. There was over 50 different simulation runs to look at optimizations. We came back and said, you know what, we really need to increase the foot height because the velocity of airflow coming in was too fast. We were seeing a larger pressure drop coming across the bottom. With that, it actually opened up another problem. When we did that, what we were seeing was recirculation coming from the sides, from the fin stack, and actually circling back. So we went back to the new structure, opened up the entire vents outside, or the foot outside the fin stack range, and blocked that off. So you'll see that correlation across the stack when you look at the X series. And so key here, you see that benefit of fans, fin stack, vapor chamber, element 31. I don't believe we talked about one of the key challenges we had on this gen. The reason we used it on Intel only last gen, there wasn't topside components. It's conductor, right? If you take high conductivity, good thermals, bad electrical, right? It'll short components. So we ended up doing on the AMD and the graphics, we did an encapsulation. So we take basically a UV curable barrier. We are basically injecting the barrier on top of those topside components. UV light hardens it, freezes it, good to go. So we can use element 31 on both. The reason we're using element 31, I don't know if you know the history of that material. You've got indium and gallium, right? Pure liquid metals. Everybody knows, hey, really good. It's in gaming space. Challenge we got was after a year, typically you would see oxidation occur where you'd see these almost like tree rings in the material. It degrades the performance. So what gamers do? They'd use it for a year, pull it off, wipe it off, do it again next year. No big deal. For us, we have multiple year life, right? 3-5 year warranties, need to be fully supported the product. We couldn't do that. So we did the encapsulation. So we see all the benefit of liquid metal. We don't see any of the degradation. And so that's where you see that combination of element 31 with the vapor chamber. And typically, just to give you a flavor of order of magnitude on cost, usually these guys are about 10x the cost of a heat pipe. So when you see that, you're seeing that premium overall product that's being put into the system itself.
I am here to introduce to you the Alienware M18 gaming laptop. This huge beast actually prioritizes power and performance, so we are looking at least 250 watts of total performance power packed into an 18-inch body. We have an 18-inch screen, 16:10 ratio, aspect ratio. We have a large touchpad here. It's 14% larger than the M17, and featuring the next-gen Intel Core processors and the next-gen NVIDIA graphics cards. AMD versions of the product will come in the second half. For screen options, we have a 165 hertz QHD panel option, and we also have a 480 hertz FHD plus panel option.
Nice.
Both of which are fantastic colorway. It's 100% DCI-P3, so perfect for gaming or content creation. We have a variety of ports and slots available depending on what it is that you need to do. We've made sure that you have on the 18 3 Type-C ports. We have USB-A ports. We have a dedicated MDP port and an HDMI port, and obviously your power port and a microphone headphone port.
Nice. So Intel 13th gen processors.
Correct.
As well as the option for Ryzen 7000 Zen 4 processors, mobile.
The next gen, yes.
Next gen,
absolutely.
yes.
And these are the Intel HX processors.
Okay.
So we're absolutely maxing out what we can get as far as microprocessors in this system. We feature the latest in our cryotech cooling technology to make sure that you can get the most out of this system. It is a 35% thermal capacity improvement over the M17, and it moves 25% more air through this system than the M17. So we really want to make sure that the system is cool and runs optimally. So we're taking advantage of all of those things. So we have user replaceable RAM in here, up to 64 gig, which is fantastic. And then from a storage perspective, we have 4 M.2 slots, SSD slots available, for a total of up to 9 terabytes of storage space in this laptop.
Nice.
So you can load up all of your games and have no problems.
Awesome. So standard SODIMM memory in that for the,
Yes.
for the memory? Nice.
Yes.
Good stuff.
We can talk now about the Alienware 25-inch 500 hertz gaming monitor. This is the Alienware 2524H.
You said 500 hertz?
500 hertz. This monitor
Wow.
delivers up to 500 hertz at 0.5 milliseconds
Response time,
response time,
Nice.
which is pretty fantastic. This is a fast IPS monitor, so the color technology and the speed are fantastic, ideal for your esports gamers. So people who are playing competitively, professionally, who want a professional-like experience for first-person shooters and fast-paced games, this is the monitor for you.
Wow.
We have gone so far as to redesign the base of our esports-focused monitors recently to this hexagonal base. And what this does is it allows your gamer to move the keyboard wherever they need and keep it nice and close. So for instance, this keyboard actually pops up. I can slide it over if I need to, depending on how I game, right?
Yeah.
So we know that our esports gamers like to be up close to the monitor and want to have that experience. And rather than have a V-shaped base, the hexagonal base allows you to do that.
Wow.
We also have a retractable headset
Oh, cool.
hanger.
Yep.
So when you're wearing it, you don't have to have that out there. When you're done gaming and you want to get it off of your desk, it just keeps things nice and neat this way.
Thoughtful inclusion there. Yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely. So this is NVIDIA G-Sync technology, and it also takes advantage of NVIDIA Reflex.
Very cool. The Alienware 500 hertz gaming monitor, and it's an IPS display, no less. Usually you need VA for that kind of refresh rate.
This is fast IPS.
Nice, good stuff. Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate it.
You're very welcome.